Hello friends, hello and happy moment wherever you are. Thanks for joining. I'm Jen from Personal Power Life Coaching, and in this clip I just want to share what I've learned about improving our stomach health and digestion from my own experience visiting the gastroenterologist and the ER and learning a lot about how to improve our stomach capacity, whether you have a sensitive stomach or you have reduced hydrochloric acid or too much gastric acid. So some tips are: eat slowly, eat thoroughly, chew all your food, and take your time. By chewing thoroughly, you make sure that your food is more fully digested, more digestible in the body, and you don't have particles in your stool. Also, relax. Don't eat when you're stressed or in a rush or in a hasty way, because when we do, we are still in a fight or flight mode, which is not facilitating gastric acids to our stomach, which is where we need it. We need to be in a relaxed state so that our body's in parasympathetic status mode and it can better digest, better enjoy the food, and you have more sense of what you're eating. So taking your time and eating mindfully and eating slowly and enjoy what you're eating, because it's a blessing when you can eat, and especially if it's delicious to you. Also, stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Okay, this is so important because when we lay down, clearly it's quite obvious that we lay down. So the food, if it's just very recently in our tummy, it will be on a horizontal plane, and so in that way the food will be more easily moving in the backward direction, which will exert pressure in the direction opposite to where your body wants to send the food. So we need to facilitate it for our body to help that digestion, so that the food that you are digesting, it's turning with chyme, it's turning into a bolus, into a liquid pulp that will then exit the stomach. But it can more easily and better efficiently do that if we are just literally standing up or in an upright vertical direction that through gravity it pulls it downwards. And so this is how we are amazingly made. Also, by not laying down after eating, you will prevent the valve at the top, so like between like the esophageal sphincter, so like there's this flap and it allows the food to go down, but it makes sure that food does not go backwards, which is what, to make sure you don't get that burning sensation in your throat. And that is what acid reflux feels like for people who get that. So again, we want to make sure that we're eating 2 to 3 hours before bed and not too close to bed. I am really working on this, and it's something that I really want to. The thing with me is I do wait at least 2 hours, but then it means my bedtime gets pushed back later, which I don't want that. So I'm just asking for help from the universe, from my higher self. And I think one thing that I'll start doing now is I'll have my bigger meal earlier in the afternoon and not wait to relax at home. So I'm working on that, and I'm just letting it fall into place. So chew thoroughly, eat 2 to 3 hours before bed. Don't mix fluids with your solids. So when you're eating your solid food, don't drink at the same time. So don't drink water or soda or coffee or tea. Again, it's something that I've not been perfect with this. I definitely love having like a bitter tea with a date, like something sweet. And if you're eating dry food, then you'll naturally want to hydrate yourself. So you have the inclination to have a beverage along with that dry food. So if you can, try to have like hydrating foods. Make sure that you're drinking sufficient fluids before and after you eat, but not while you're eating. So, just something to be aware of. So no mixing fluids with foods, eating slowly and thoroughly, chewing your food completely. Take your time, enjoy it. Take a deep breath as well, because when you do that, You relax the body and you relax the mind from whatever's been happening in your previous moments. Especially if you're at work and you have to eat at work, then just bringing that mindfulness and presence and bringing as much peace as possible to your eating experience. And don't eat too close to bedtime, 2 to 3 hours before. Don't mix your fluids with your solids. And then there's more in the description that I provided below. Again, I repeat about breathing deeply because it really helps in all ways. And yeah, those are some of the main things that come to mind. Also, don't have coffee or green tea or these harsh carbonated beverages on an empty stomach, because that also is harsh for the stomach lining. It offsets the pH in the stomach because your body will have been in a fasted state, so it's producing a lot of acid, and then if you counteract it with more acid, then it hurts the lining of the stomach, and it also kind of contradicts the natural acid that your body's building up so it can digest food. So that's something that really helps, because I used to have green tea or black tea on an empty stomach, even coffee, and I loved it, not because I was a masochist, but I just liked it. A lot of people do this anyways, right? You have your coffee first thing on an empty stomach just to get you going. Whatever your reason is, whether it's just the flavor or the ritual or the habit, and you don't even think about it anymore. If you have stomach issues, digestive issues, anything related to your health that stems from your stomach, then you may want to consider this and take the learning from it. And so, yeah. And then also not having citrus fruits on an empty stomach, which I find I still kind of am not too sure about, but I have been reducing my lime and my lemons these days, and I've noticed slight improvements. Also, don't wear tight clothes that tighten up your stomach, because that also, it pushes up the food in the opposite direction. I don't do that, but if you do, like if you tighten up your waist in the effort of like eating less or whatever, you just want to wear like super tight skinny jeans, or your belt is like very tight around your waist, don't do that, because that pushes your food inwards, and it's what creates acidity and that acid reflux, or that indigestion and that discomfort and potentially nausea. So that's something to factor in. Also, if you struggle with your stomach, you may want to look at getting a test as to whether you have H. pylori, which is a bacteria that contributes to an unhealthy gut biome, which a lot of people do end up having, but it's unknown, and this is what contributes also to gastric acid, like gastroesophageal reflux disease. Like, it doesn't have to be a disease, it's like a thing that you're going through and experience. So again, H. pylori, if you think that it's something worth looking into, you can get a blood test for that, and also testing your stool. Visit your doctor for that to know for sure what you're working with in your body here. And yeah, so that's something that is important to take note of, to get yourself in optimal digestion, improve your tummy. The reason this came about for me is because I experience nausea in cars when I get in, especially as a passenger. Not all the time, but often. It's often enough that it's hugely uncomfortable, and it's something that I think has reached a peak level now, especially with this experience. So hence my learning, and now my sharing, and maybe even teaching as I impart the knowledge and research that I've been looking at and receiving. So that's it for now. Lots of love and light. You take care. Peace, love, and blessings, and to your health. Okay? So connect with yourself. Bye from Jen at Personal Power Life Coaching. Thank you.